What's good, everybody? Checking in another video on my way to work. So there's really been a lot of things on my mind lately. A lot of things to talk about, and just really trying to, see like what to talk about first, like in what order, which is most important to talk about. I really don't even know. I feel like just kind of roll with it. But it's a couple things that I do want to talk about. One is I probably mentioned it before, like the idea of being your best self. Working towards being the best version of you. And I don't want to take for granted that everybody understands what that means. I don't want to make an assumption that because it sounds so simple that it is simple or easy, and I don't want to make it seem like it's an easy thing to do for anybody that may be, wanting to understand further what that means. So I kind of wanted to, I'm working on the road, but yeah, I kind of wanted to just give a little, share a little insight on that, what that means to me. And there may be some people watching that may have more to add, and hopefully they'll do that in the comments or in some way, shape, or form, get that information out there. But for me, being the best version of yourself, or your best self, is it has a lot to do with honesty. It has a whole lot to do with honesty. Really, a lot of things have to do with honesty. And how willing are you to be totally honest? If not with people, because it doesn't mean that you have to, share all of your information or, what's going on in your life. It doesn't mean that you have to share all of that, tell all your business. Doesn't mean you have to make these videos like I'm making, just talking about your situation or situations. But it does at least require you to be honest with yourself in your own private space, to really just, a lot of times when we do certain things, it's not that we don't know certain things we shouldn't do, but sometimes we choose anyway to do certain things. And then, we may or may not own it after that. We may, admit to ourselves and say we did, but what's most important is, are you actively working to change that behavior, or to change how you handle that behavior? And not to say that if that's a choice you make, that you only make that mistake once and then you'll never make it again. It's not saying that. It's saying just going beyond the point of acknowledging that you made a mistake, or that acknowledging your imperfections, your flaws, or your those behaviors that you have that aren't I guess in your best interest to demonstrate. It's like when you acknowledge them, that's the beginning But then you have to, I'm not saying y'all got to, but then it's a process. For me, it was a process of, after acknowledging, then I had to work on an actual plan or steps, or begin to learn, how do I fix this? You know, where does it stem from? What's its root? Why did I start doing this? Why did I start behaving this way? What causes me to behave this way? Is this a reactionary behavior? You know, is it something I'm doing because whenever this happens, you know, I'm triggered by it and it causes me to act this way, or, you know, whatever the case. I'm not sure I have my button, but you know, it goes beyond just acknowledging. But acknowledging is a major step, you know what I'm saying? That's a major key. Like, just being honest enough to admit or acknowledge that there's something wrong, but then taking it a step further to actively find solutions to, you know, better or have better outcomes in the future if ever presented with the same situation or problem. So, I don't know, and just thinking about this might be a situation of multiple conversations or videos of being your better self. And I think, like, really, some of the other videos kind of do explain this in a way, but, you know, I don't think I've ever just pointed out that that's been part of that process for me. So, you know, I think this video just really spelling it out that you know, this is kind of what it has looked like for me going through this process. You know, it's been having these truthful moments with myself where I own and admit my flaws and imperfections, but then taking it a step further to actively work on those, man, so I'm not always having those same outcomes. And in most cases, I'm never pleased when I have those types of you know, reactions to things where I don't handle myself well, and then later I feel bad about it, and it's like, you know what I mean, it's just like, man, I could have avoided that if I had, you know, done these self-check steps that I came up with years ago. I even mentioned this bracelet, you know what I mean? My bro Reflect, Heal, Elevate. Like, it's not just like a fashion thing to have this on my wrist. It's really something that, for me, it's supposed to be, anytime I feel it or notice it, I read it. And it doesn't mean just only when there's a problem that I do that, but, you know, just anytime I notice it, just make myself read it, because it's like, it's constantly feeding my mind to know that I need to take a moment. I don't need to respond and react to everything immediately. I need to take a moment. I need to reflect, you know. I need to heal and I need to elevate. I don't have to lash out. There's no L on there. You know what I'm saying? Lash out is not an option on here, you know what I mean? Fear, respond in fear, that's not on here. Because a lot of times that causes us to react certain ways as well. It's not just always somebody disrespects you or makes you mad or upsets you. Sometimes things put fear in you that make you respond a certain way. So yeah, that's all for today. You know, we'll just build on this some more, because I don't want to make this like a 30-minute video and then you miss something. You know, I'd rather keep it short and sweet and let this just be like a part one of how to, or I may not even do a part one. It might just be called whatever it's called. I don't know. We'll see. But that was the main thing I wanted to get across is that, you know, just beginning to maybe teach, I don't want to call it teach, but teach or share knowledge that I've found and discovered in my life, on my path, on this journey, the whole discover my inner God process. You know, these are things that I'm learning doing this now. You know, I'm learning how to reflect, heal, and elevate, and not respond, react, and overreact in situations. And it doesn't mean that I'm batting 1,000, you know what I'm saying, right now. It doesn't mean that I have perfected that skill, but I'm actively working towards it, you know, and having just a little bit more compassion with myself if I do make a mistake. But the goal is to not keep making the same mistakes, you know what I mean? At that point, it's almost intentional. If you continue to make the same mistake, you know what I mean? I understand grace and forgiveness, but if you just keep, even with the knowledge, keep doing, you know, it's like you're choosing to do that, you know. So that's my opinion. Peace. Love y'all.